I know God has a plan. I pray for direction to follow it, patience to wait on it, and knowledge to know when it comes. A pleasant morning to all. I deem great pleasure to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. P. Ramya, to welcome the gathering for the international webinar entitled Machine Learning Algorithms for Healthcare, organized by the Department of Computer Applications of Nanda Arts and Science College, Erode, Tamil Nadu, India. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita ma'am. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So, good morning to one and all present over the virtual mode for the webinar, international webinar organized by the Department of Computer Applications. First of all, on behalf of the management, I would like to congratulate the department and their faculty members for their efforts being taken in organizing various programs on behalf of the department. I would also like to welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Balamurugan Ishwaran, Department of Computer and Mathematical Sciences from Nigeria. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and for being a resource person, for acting as a resource person for our college program, sir. So, on behalf of our management, I wholeheartedly welcome you for the program, sir. Due to some
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Due to some technical reasons, we were not able to do the program in the last scheduled date. And it's really wonderful to see many more participants having enthusiasm in the same way. Though the program has been postponed, many participants are eagerly participating in today's program. So I'd like to welcome the participants from various colleges and from the from our own institution, Nanda Arts and Science College. So I'd like to welcome all the participants and faculty members and students from various colleges and our Nanda Arts and Science College. It's my pleasure to congratulate the team of Computer Application Department, the organizing committee, and the efforts they take for the program. It's marvelous. The unity they have among the department is really appreciable. So I would like to individually congratulate each and every faculty member of the department for contributing their efforts to the success of the program. And I would like to welcome you all. I would also like to welcome all the non-teaching faculty members who are supporting the department for organizing such programs. So, on behalf of the management, I finally congratulate the head of the department, Ms. Shantalakshmi ma'am, for organizing such wonderful programs. Expecting many more programs in future also. Thanks for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I call upon Mrs. S. Savita, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Applications, to limelight the highlights of our chief guest to our esteemed audience.
To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. The atmosphere appears to be very electric. Everyone is quite excited to present their views. Our today's cameo, Dr. Balamurugan Ishwaran, Associate Professor, Department of Mathematical and Computer Science, University of Africa, Nigeria, who has published 30 articles in international journals and also presented and published more than 20 papers in national and international conferences. His research fields includes cloud computing, image processing, document image analysis, digital forensics, images in painting, information security, and data mining. Recently, he has 3 patents in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He has 20 years of experience. He is supervising PhD in information technology for 2 scholars at Texla America University, University of Nigeria in cloud computing. He acts as an external assessor for PhD thesis for Barbier University, Bharadasan University, and Sister Peter's University, India. Apart from this, he has published book also. He acted as a facilitator for panel discussion on promoting cloud computing in Ghana at international conference in advanced trends in ICT and managed organized by Association of African Universities in collaboration with Bluecrest University College, Google, IBM, Oracle Ghana. He organized and delivered many lectures on cloud computing, He guided a project during Futura 14 national level event entitled Vehicle Theft Tracking using Android app, and he also won a prize of rupees 10,000. Also, he is recognized as a supervisor for guiding research scholars for MPhil Computer Science program of Periyar University, Salem, and Sastra University, Tanjavur. He is recognized as a reviewer of many of international journals. He is recognized as editorial board member of international journals like International Journal of Advanced Computer Technology, that is IJACT, from July 2015. International Journal of Advanced Research in Management, Engineering and Technology, IJRMET, from June 2015. He interested to prepare proposals for funding agencies, application process, framing of curriculums, regulations, and syllabus for undergraduate and postgraduate degree programmers, and reviewer for various international journals and conferences, and external PhD thesis assessor for multiple top universities.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to enrich our minds with wise knowledge and techniques to be given by our chief guest. I request our chief guest to fill the arena with science. Sir, the forum is yours.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Ms. Savida, for a wonderful introduction. It gives me an immense pleasure to be a part of this international webinar, which is organized by Nanda Arts and Science College. My heartfelt thanks to the management, the principal, Dr. P. Ramya, and the head of the department, Ms. S.N. Santalakshmi, the coordinator of the event, Ms. T. Baby, and the team members who is behind this successful organization. And my special thanks to Mr. Karthik. He is the person who is like chasing me since like more than 5 to 6 months to getting my date. Whenever I am saying like this time it is not possible, he said like, sir, cool, no problem. Let me find some other time for you. I really appreciate his involvement in organizing this set of events. It is a very good attitude. It shows that like how these team members behind this seminar are working very hard. Before entering into my today's presentation seminar, my sincere apologies for the technical issues happened the last time. We have fixed this seminar on 5th of this month. So due to the sudden breakdown of internet over the university area where I am belonging to, so I couldn't make it on that day. So very sorry for that one. Thank you for everybody. Just I'm taking you to my today's presentation. Today we are going to discuss about like machine learning algorithms for healthcare. Before entering into today's topic, just to let me give a brief introduction about the university where I am working. I am working in University of Africa, Nigeria, It's located in Bayelsa State. It is the second state-owned university. This is the second state-owned university, by the state government of Bayelsa. So it is a young university which is 3 years old. Now we are in the students of level 400. They're going to complete their degree by 2022. With this brief introduction, I will take you today's topic. This is the presentation overview. Today we are going to discuss about introduction of machine learning. What are all the machine learning types? We have three major category of machine learning. One is supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforcement machine learning. The next we are going to see few applications of machine learning. Especially we are going to concentrate more on healthcare, especially the medical diagnosis. The broad area of medical diagnosis follows as disease identification. What are all the different algorithms they are using for identifying diseases? Disease diagnosis using medical imaging, drug discovery, and robotic surgical tools. The automatic, apart from this healthcare, the machine learning algorithm supports us to move very fast to achieve our goals using the following areas: automatic language transition, stock market trading, online fraud detection, virtual personal assistant, email spam and malware filtering, self-driven cars, product recommendations, traffic prediction, speech recognition, and image recognition. So this is the general definition of machine learning. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence which provides the system the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. The basic concept of the machine learning is like the machine can have a capacity or the ability to automatically learn itself the environment or surroundings, and it can behave or act as it is. That is the machine learning application, the machine learning definition. Machine learning algorithms build a model of sample data, the data known as training data, in order to make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed to do so. So this is the life cycle of machine learning algorithms. So this is for your understanding, just I am briefing this. Basically, you know the definition very well. Machine learning algorithms have computer systems which have ability to automatically learn without being explicitly programmed or instruction has been given. So this is the life cycle, basic life cycle, which has been referred by various authors. First phase of life cycle is gathering information, that is gathering data. We are calling it as gathering information. The second one is data preparation. The information what you have gathered need to be prepared as per the algorithm or as per the approach you are using. Then data wrangling and analysis of data. We are making the data ready for analysis. Then we have to choose the optimal training model. We have to choose the optimal training model. Once the model has been chosen, then the model we are going to discuss in the next upcoming slides. Then followed by test model. Once the model is done, then we are going to test the model. Once the model has been successfully tested, then we are next to finally sending to the deployment phase. The machine learning have three vast categories. One is supervised learning, another one is unsupervised learning, third one is reinforcement learning. This supervised learning, we are calling it as task driven learning. Okay, so in the supervised learning model, the task has been predefined, so the system is asked to check whether it met the requirement or the task. Once the task has been verified, it says whether it is okay or not. The next model is a data driven model. So the task has not been specific in this model, the data of the given sequence has been learned by the system itself, then it has been moving forward. That is unsupervised model. The next third model is like a reinforcement model. This is the advanced model where we are lot of people are looking for now. Learn from others. We can define our own model. The own model can predict something. Then whether we can give our feedback. We can give our feedback based on our feedback. The model has moved forward. Whether if it is acceptable feedback, positive feedback, it will go as it is. If it is negative feedback, it will redo the process and it will find a new recognition. Let us see what is supervised machine learning. Supervised machine learning is that one type of machine learning where the machines are well labeled. The machines are trained using well labeled training set on the basis of data. On the basis of the data what you have trained, the machine can predict the output. That approach we are calling it as supervised machine learning. Okay, the supervised learning process which gives an input and correct output of the machine learning model. The aim of this algorithm is we have to map a function of input variable x with output variable y, which means like input variable also defined with some parameters. The same way output variable also defined with some parameters. Just our role is the algorithms supervised machine learning models role is just mapping these whether this x is x variable x has been fulfilled this or approach or like the control of variable y. In the supervised model, the training data is labeled using data set where this model learns about each type of data. Sorry about it. One of the training processes, once the training process is completed, this model is tested based on the data. This is the simple example for supervised learning model. The box first at the left side top is called, we are calling it as labeled data. The data are well labeled. The label has been defined in the bottom. We can say in this way like three sides are equal. Then we can say it is a triangle. There are four lines which has been connected together. It says the sides are equal. We can say this is square. Then next one is something have six sides. Then we can say this is hexagon. So then polygon if it is 8. So that's what we are defining to the supervised learning model. So the model training has been initiated. Okay, so what is the test data? Once the test data has been supplied, the prediction is what type of input you are giving. It is checking the input, how many sides are there. Once the side is number of sides which has been defined by you, if it is 3, it is a triangle. It can say this is triangle. If the side is we have 4 sides, the 4 sides has been defined as a square. It will predict this is square. So this type of prediction we are calling it as supervised machine learning. The supervised machine learning model, the data or label that we are labeling the data. So based on the training model, the prediction has been predicted. So we can view the output. That is the case. So the supervised machine learning have 2 categories. One is regression classification. One is regression, another one is classification. In regression algorithms, it helps us to find the relationship between input variable and output variable. Okay, so for example, like this algorithm is basically used especially for continuous process. Okay, something like it is always identifying the relationship between the input and output variable. For example, forecasting weathers, analyzing or identifying market trends of a product. So we are using these technologies. For example, we are using a lot of online purchase mobile app. We are using in Nigeria we have, in Africa we have an app called as Zoomia. So then Alibaba, then a lot of Walmart apps. We are using a lot of mobile apps here for online purchase. The same way in India, if we are using Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, we are using different type of apps. So whenever as a user, once you logged in your area, automatically it will shows the list of items what you have viewed in the previous logged in or previous session of your entry in that app. So it automatically picks out any new product which is related to that one what you have searched. For example, I want to buy a Reebok shoe. So I just googled 2 days before. Sorry, just I googled in my Flipkart app about like the like a Reebok shoe. Or the 2 days back, I have searched some new mobile models about Apple 12, iPhone 12. So if there are any updation regarding this model, immediately it will bring out, it will pops up. This is a new updation of the product what you have searched. So this thing has been automatically updated. So there are a lot of popular algorithms are there under this regression algorithms. One is linear regression, another one is regression trees, third one is non-linear regression, Bayesian linear regression, polynomial regression. These algorithms are some of the algorithms which falls under the regression algorithm category. So the next type of algorithm is classification algorithm. This is the one like people are nowadays using because like most of the image processing and image analysis field basically looking for classification. The best classification always gives the best optimal output. So especially like they are using like micro level analysis, especially they're using a lot of cells. For example, like the image, they want to check the size of the total image with the pixel density. Based on the research, they are picking up the information or data from the specific image. Then they used to check whether it is true or false, or it says like the person say yes or no, something like this. So this type of classification, it is specific one. So this type of specific one, we are calling it as spam filtering algorithm. These are all the algorithm which supports us for these classifications: spam filtering, random forest, decision trees, logistic regression, then support vector machines and extreme learning machines. These are all the advanced algorithms, especially nowadays people are using for most of the researchers. You can find a lot of papers on SVM, support vector machines, and extreme learning classifier, especially for classification, especially for like document analysis. We need to classify the uh, text printed letters and handwritten letters in a same document, or we need to categorize or classify the stamps which has been presented in the document, or we need to identify the hologram which has been printed in the document. These algorithms, most of the cases, few years back, support vector machine have produced very good output. Due to the rapid development of technology and innovations, machine learning, deep learning is the next stage of machine learning. So nowadays, like a lot of deep learning algorithms, people are started using. So this will give better result and better accuracy over the previous models. Next type of machine learning algorithm is unsupervised learning. In this unsupervised learning model, the training data are unlabeled. We are not labeling any information. Let me brief you in the compared to previous case. In the supervised learning, we have defined the shapes. So if it is 3 sides, if it is triangle, if it is 4 sides, it is square. Okay, if it is 6 sides, it is a hexagon. If it is 8 sides, it's a polygon. We are defining the same, we are labeling the data what we have given, but here it is not the case. So there is no supervision over here. Just our role is just we have to give the input. So system itself automatically started learning the data set which have like different categories. Let me take you a small example here. The first one in here is like input raw data. Okay, we have a group of images. The input image, we are calling it as raw data. In this raw data, we have the images of pets like dog and cat. So we have two type of dogs and we have two variety of cats. So what this algorithm is going to do is it will interpret into the raw data. Okay, it will read the read about the more information about this raw data. So this raw data information has been given as an input to your algorithm. Once the algorithm have efficiency to classify or group, or it has been produced output by its own. This is based on the features which has been interpreted. This based on the features, it automatically classifies. These are all dogs. These are all cats. Okay, so this is the one. This algorithm for unsupervised learning is to identify the image features by own. So this algorithm will perform task by clustering the image data set according to the similarity between images. So here there is unlabeled data. This data has not categorized on the output what we suppose we are expecting. Now the unlabeled data is entered into the machine learning model, and it was well trained. While during the time of training phase, this it will fix up the raw information of the hidden parts of the data. Then we can apply the exact algorithm like clustering or decision tree algorithm based on our requirement. For example, I want to group all the variety of dogs. I want to group all the variety of cats and all. Then the major the category at the top is like dog and cat. Okay, under dog we can again classify what are all the breeds of dog. Under breeds, whether it is a puppy or it is a grown one, we can classify further understanding or further requirement of the user. This is the case. So this algorithm, unsupervised learning algorithm, is an excellent algorithm. There were a lot of researches has been proved already. We have a lot of machineries available on market based on this unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So there are a lot of automated machineries, tools, industrial automation. There were a lot of automated tools and applications day to day we are using. The next is like this unsupervised machine learning have two vast categories. One is clustering, another one is association. Clustering is nothing but a method for grouping object into clusters. For example, in the previous example, I want to cluster my value. I want to cluster my raw data into two groups or two categories. One is dogs, another one is cat. So, for example, if I am adding some other pets picture over here, so automatically we need to have another more 2 to 3 categories. For initial stage, our aim is, my target is to pick only dogs and images from the images, which means I can define the parameters or like the values for dogs. I can read the cat characteristics and like the values for cat. Then at the same time, we can group other information into others category. So this grouping, we are calling it as clustering. So that is the one. The next one is association. In this association rule, unsupervised model find the relationship between the variables in the large database. So it defines the association. Most of the cases, for example, the large population, if we want to pick up some relevant data in a large population, so we are using this association rules. Okay, so these are all the two categories. So we can see the popular algorithms which works under this unsupervised learning. The very popular algorithm is k-means clustering and k-nearest neighborhood algorithm. Okay, these are all the two famous algorithms. Apart from that, we have a hierarchical clustering, anomaly detection, neural network methodologies, where there are various methodologies under neural network, feed forward neural network. So principal component analysis, independent component analysis, a priori algorithm, singular value decomposition. So these are all the I have not quoted all the algorithms. I have quoted only very popular and few algorithms you are seeing then and there. If you take any research, if you go through for your literature review of your research, just you can find that like these are all the popular algorithms. A lot of researchers have taken as a landmark, and they have compared their result with these algorithms. You can see a lot of algorithms like improved KNN nearest neighborhood algorithm, improved k-means clustering algorithm. There are few parameters, there are few areas need to be customized based on my research requirement. Some algorithms is doing better performance for some type of researchers. The same algorithm needs to be refined for their other researchers. So that's what like this, they are customizing this algorithm. So this is the simple example for supervised and unsupervised machine learning. Basically, the supervised machine learning, from the image itself, for your best understanding, just I am putting this image. For supervised learning, uh, we are predefining the label for data. Then we are expecting only output. It seems like how the supervisor is supervising a scholar or a student, how the teacher is teaching to student. So based on what he taught, he is expecting some answer from the student, whether she may right or wrong. That approach we are calling it as supervised learning. The next approach is unsupervised learning. There is no supervisor here. So you will be assigned the references. So based on the references, you can learn yourself. Once your learning is over, then automatically, then you can grab your knowledge. Based on the knowledge what you have grabbed, you are supposed in the position to answer. Okay. So this is the difference between supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. This is the difference between the supervised algorithms and unsupervised learning algorithms. Supervised learning or trained or trained information or like labeled data. Unsupervised algorithms are training using unlabeled data. They are trained already, so they have. We are defining the sizes. We are defining the shape, structure in the supervised. Unsupervised learning algorithm, it is learning itself. The next one is it will we can take direct feedback whether the prediction is right in supervised learning. In unsupervised learning model, it does not take any feedback, so we can just approximately check by ourselves whether it is the prediction is right or wrong. So the supervised learning model predicts the output. Unsupervised model finds the hidden part of the data. So this is the basic things. The very important one is like the algorithms what we are using for supervised category is classification algorithm and regression problems. The next to unsupervised is clustering and association. Supervised learning model produces exact result. Unsupervised model also like produces a good result, but sometimes we can ensure that the given data is accurate or not. Okay. For example, if you show the picture, if you define the parameters or characteristics for a pet, so we can easily define the pet have 4 legs. We can have it has 2 eyes. It has nose. It has 2 ears. So all these things are common parameters which has been used for cat and dog. But apart from that, we need to express or explain or define the hidden data of how the dog specifically looks. We need to define again how specifically the cat simulates. So this is the case. For example, like the cough of a cheetah and a cat simulates same. So for example, I want to differ wild animals with pets. If I'm doing a research that I'm taking a common picture, I want to classify, I want to categorize the wild animals with the pets. So I am just putting a cat, I am putting an image of a small cough of small cheetah. So once I have started defining the features, more or less 80% of the information simulates same, even their screening, everything. But there are a few areas specifically needs to be distinguished or differentiate. Thus, distinguishing has been taken care by unsupervised learning model in appropriate way. So these are all the popular algorithms which has been defined by supervised model and unsupervised model. The popular algorithms of SVM, multi-class classification, Bayesian logics, these are all the algorithms we have used earlier in the supervised learning model. So in this unsupervised model, we are using a priori clustering and k nearest neighborhood algorithm. The next important model is like a reinforcement learning model. In this reinforcement learning model, it is a machine learning technique which focuses on the algorithm. We are calling it as cut and try approach. What do you mean by cut and try approach? In the algorithm evaluates the current situation and it finds some action and it will get some feedback from the user whether the action is right or wrong. If action is forward, the action is positive, it says it is rewarded, and the action is negative, it says like punishment, or it maybe we are calling it as mistakes. Okay, what is when compared to the previous two models, what is the advantage of this model is it takes inspiration from how human beings learn from data in their lives. For example, from your childhood to your adult age, so you came across a lot of things. For example, we have not seen the objects like aeroplane, trains, the animals. Okay, if we have an opportunity to go to railway station, if you go to airport, if you go to like a zoo or museum, you can have an opportunity to compare what you have viewed in the earlier days. For example, like my childhood, my teacher shown this is a picture of a train. So I don't have an opportunity to travel in the train. After a few years back, just I have traveled in a train. At that time, I can recall my days. So this is the train. The first part of the train is engine, followed by the seats, something like that is called reinforcement model of training. So this is a simple example for a reinforcement model. For example, the task which has given to me is like to identify the given input is apple or not, or we have to find out what it is. Okay. So initially we are taking the features of the input and based on the existing like feedback, based on the existing data, we are coming for conclusion it is a mango. Okay, so the round in shape, it have color, so all these things, so we can say it is a mango. This is our response. Okay, so once the feedback we are getting from the person exact algorithm, it says it's not a mango, it is an apple. So what the system is going to do is the feedback what it has received, it will store the information as per the specific features. If the features are so and so, so this should be called as apple. So automatically it will reinforce the responses. It will says that it is an apple. So that is what the reinforcement algorithms are working. So next, we are entering into the applications of machine learning. Machine learning algorithms have applications. Machine learning algorithms are used in various fields. It starts from recognition of image, automatic language translation, especially medical field, the medical healthcare domain. The way the machine learning is contributing, it is awesome. Stock market trading, online fraud detection, virtual personal assistant, email spam and malware filtering. We have our everybody is nowadays using their Gmail or any of the mail services which has been provided by various agencies like Microsoft, Google, or like Rediff, or any of them. So everybody there is an option called as email spam and malware filtering. If any malware is attached with your email, automatically the system says that don't open. Okay, so this is the malware. Expected malware may be fine. It's better you can scan through your antivirus software, the system itself recommending us if any virus related information has been shared to us. So it has been automatically identified by these machine learning algorithms. So the next very popular product is self-driving cars. Nowadays, not even cars, we have automatically or self-driven tractors. The self-driven tractors are especially used for the cultivation field of large scale agricultural farms. That is one. The next one is product recommendations. So based on your interest, it will recommend. It is recommend. There are a lot of products are popping up when you go for a specific website or a specific application. That is the one. The next one is traffic prediction. That is the major thing. Like for example, you are in a city before starting your way back from your office to your home. Just you can check. You are crossing some popular roads on time, especially if you just assume if you stayed in a cities like Delhi, Mumbai or Chennai. So it is not easy for the peak time traffic movement. The peak time traffic movement is always like the most horrible one. So before starting your travel, just you are taking your application, Google application, just you are checking the traffic density, which area you have high traffic. So it will supports you for optimal route, the best trafficless route. That is the one. So a lot of speech recognition softwares we are using. For example, like Alexa, we are using. So Google also we are using. For example, nowadays everybody is using their smartphones to call somebody using voice calls. Okay, instead of calling like Mr. X, checking their number manually and like calling the person, just we are saying call X, which means like automatically the mobile taking a lead to calling the person X. The next important, we are moving to machine learning algorithm for healthcare. Healthcare is one of the biggest domain across the globe. We need a lot of innovations in this area, especially healthcare, for the betterment of livelihood of the elder age people. We are living in the like COVID-19. We are pandemic situation. How worst these viruses are nowadays. So basically, we are looking for better outcome and better results on various fields. So there are a lot of inventions are coming day to day. Especially Google have developed an excellent machine learning algorithm to identify the cancer tumors. Stanford is doing their own research to identify using machine learning algorithms to identify the skin cancer. Then the same way IBM Watson also using their research lab to find out like a lot of medical innovations. So that is what the medical healthcare research on machine learning is going on. So these are all the following areas like disease identification and diagnosis, drug discovery and manufacturing, personalized medical treatment, medical imaging, robotic surgical tools, disease prediction. These are all the areas we are going to discuss today. Disease identification and diagnosis. At the end of this, we can see a small use case about like how these algorithms are functioning. So disease identification and diagnosis, it is not easy for diagnosing a disease manually. It takes more time for disease diagnosis. For example, when COVID-19 has started, just assume that for taking the test, checking whether the specific person has affected by COVID or not, it takes like 48 hours. Then they find an optimum solution. They brought out some devices. They have find now like it takes like 12 hours. Nowadays, like the antigen and rapid kits are available in the market. We can just conclude within 30 to 40 minutes. Whenever if you are traveling, if you are an international traveler, to the most of the airport because of these sudden outcome of South African and UK viruses. So all the airports, they have started checking before the passenger wants to board. Even though if you have a COVID test with you, they want to ensure the patient are in safe condition. So the airport authorities are asking the travelers before traveling 2 hours or 3 hours before boarding, they need to check an antigen test in this place. It's the airport itself. So these kits, once you can take samples from your throat or your nose. Once you put into the tube, then just there is a drop of gel. They are giving they're dropping it. It will gives accurate result immediately. So this has been possible because of these algorithms, smart algorithms. Okay, so that is the case. Even though we have grown, the machineries control the total globe. So a lot of things are happening here and there. Still, like we are in shortage of resources. We are still in this shortage of productions. There are a lot of companies, they're not in the position to supply medicines for the European countries. That is the main cause for that everyone is blaming, the people in these countries are blaming the government for their they have not acted well, because the government has placed their order with the big chains like across the globe for the supplying of medicines, but they're not in the position to supply the medicines, because of, even though they have automated facilities, they have still some challenges. So that is the one. So there were a lot of researchers are going, especially for cancer. Cancer is a deadly disease, as everybody knows well. So the earlier stage cancer prediction have possibility of making a patient to live for few more years. So that's what like these smart machineries are like helping us like anything. So that's what like the giants like Google and IBM, they are stepping into this field. They are spending a lot of money for the AI algorithm development. If you are a researcher, you have an opportunity or you have a chance to directly submit your algorithm you can submit your algorithm to Google or IBM. So if they feel that this algorithm is feasible, surely they will fund you for your further research in the same area. That is the one. So there is a product called as Quantax, which is using machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is the one which has been developed by University of Chicago. This helps us for fast diagnosis of cancer. So especially like it helps the radiologist to diagnose smarter and very fast manner. So for example, like a few years back, once you want to check whether you have diabetes or not, so it takes 24 hours time. Nowadays, like we have a ready-made kit and machine in this medical shop itself. You can just buy a kit and you can test yourself. This is what like this algorithm. These algorithms, these machineries are powered by these machine learning algorithms. Okay. So the next one is drug discovery and manufacturing. The machine learning, such as unsupervised algorithms, which helps us to identify new patterns. So earlier stage of drug manufacturing is very hard, because they have physically take the chemicals and they have to physically prepare the drugs. Then they have to sample it, test it. Again, it takes a long process. For example, a single tablet or a single syrup manufacturing takes more time. Nowadays, we have a lot of tools. Automatically, if you give the input, it will simulate what the output is going to be. So these tools helps this drug discovery and manufacturing industry to grow faster. So because of this, we have a lot of end of the day, who is going to get benefit out of this is people. We the people are getting benefit out of it, because like there are few companies, they are selling their product in very expensive. So there are, because of these simulators, even a small scale industry started manufacturing drugs with low cost. So this is the big competition happening across the globe. So for next few years, the hot topic is like healthcare industry and new innovations. That is, I'm sure about it. Though, so there is a company called as Instro. It is a California-based company. They're discovering a new drugs for more patient to cure more patients with low cost. So instead of they're taking these samples from the chemical and biological side, they can use this one, like they can directly use these simulators algorithms. They can calculate like what the output is going to be. That is what like we're doing. There is a project called as Hanover by Microsoft. They're purely using machine learning technologies for developing cancer treatment. Uh, the next one is medical imaging. So this is very popular area of research. A lot of researchers in India, they are doing their research in this area. They're like, for example, there are a lot of people doing the research for example, like breast cancer detection, like throat cancer detection, lungs cancer detection. So there were a lot of researches were going on. If I can witness a lot of publications on very good reputed journals about this one. So these technologies helps the doctors to take quick decision. Okay, so these imaging technologies which helps the doctors to take quick decision on what exactly. So initially the diagnosis phase for the most dangerous diseases like cancer or ABC, it takes more time. So nowadays it is very easy for the people to, they can easily look in it, and the doctors have very good equipments and facilities, so they can use it well. Even the countries like United States and United Kingdom, UK, because of the COVID issue, they were very much afraid. So they are not in the position to physically examine the patients. So they're using robots to examine the patients. For example, they want to check the heartbeat, they want to check the temperature, they want to check the like BP, or they want to check some other preliminary investigation. Once the patient is entering into the hospital for his treatment, for his or her treatment, so they are using robots for this one. So that's what that is where the technology on machine learning applications and algorithms helps us to move forward. So this is personalized medicine and treatment with the explosion of patient data, and with the help of these healthcare records. So we can personalize the data. For example, if a child he or she is having a age of like 4 or 3, if he is attending the specific health center, his health record may be automated based on the previous case. For example, like if it is a winter, the child is going to have cold, cough, and fever. So which means like during winter time, it is mandatory for the child needs to be vaccinated, or child need to be immunized. So that time automatically the system will give alert to the doctors that the specific patient have been in your hospital for so and so month continuously for 3 or 4 years. So it is your duty to examine the patient at this time. So that's what like these technologies are helping. So Watson Healthcare is one of the IBM Watson project, which is completely using the machine learning algorithms. So these algorithms helps the doctors to take quick decisions, especially on the clinical practices and trials. So machine learning algorithm helps us to monitoring and predicting the outbreaks of diseases across the globe. So based on the satellite information and the social media platform and website, it is easy for us to grab these details. For example, WHO is nowadays collecting the information across the globe. So if you have an idea about this data, then which helps which region or which continent have highly affected by this COVID. So this COVID has been affected, even though COVID is lot of people tested positive, millions people, sorry, lakhs and lakhs of people uh, tested positive in India per day, even though the death ratio compared to other nations, it is very less. So even though the United Kingdom is a small country, they have very few like the COVID affected rate is very less, even though like the death rate is high. So this helps the companies who are into the vaccination production or manufacturing to find identify the high dose medicine for the people who is located in this like area. Robotic surgery tool. So this robotic surgery tool helps us to do surgery to replace humans. So for example, like it is not easy for a doctor to do a micro level surgery in specific part. For example, like if you have ulcer, if you have some diseases, stomach based diseases, so that time it is not earlier days the only treatment is to open it completely, open the middle part of your stomach, then they can completely do the operation. So even though the operation is minor, they need to open a big they need to open your face for your face on your body. So nowadays, like due to the rapid development, there are a lot of equipments, modern equipments are there. So these equipments will assist us, guide us exactly how this specific place has been targeted, how this specific tumor or any disease has to be removed, or automatically it will support us. That is the next one. This is all about the basic idea about how what is healthcare, what are all the different areas of healthcare. Just I'm briefing and I'm taking next 10 to 15 minutes to explain about a use case, arrhythmia. Arrhythmia is one of the popular disease. What arrhythmia is, let me have a look about it. What is the algorithm we are using to classify what type of algorithm, what type of arrhythmia the specific person have. For example, a person have a sudden heart attack. Before entering into the hospital, he may needs to do some first aid. So if such is the case, then what is his medical history? So what type of arrhythmia he have? What is the further recommendations? Everything has to be taken care by the machine learning algorithms. So what do you mean by arrhythmia is it is a irregular heartbeat of a human, which consider a person heartbeat may be sometimes too fast, or sometimes it may be too slow, sometimes it may be too early, or it may be have irregular rhythm. For example, if you have any like sudden shock news, or if you have a shock, then automatically if you check your heart, it beats very fast. The regular way heart should not functioning. So because of these things, people may, for example, a person have a good health who has crossed the age of 40 plus or 45 plus in India now. Suddenly they may have a heart attack. They don't have even any symptoms. Okay, so for this set of people, this research will support them to take care of the health in the advanced way. Yes. That's, so there are several categories of arrhythmia. Here, there are four categories we have mentioned. We are going to discuss with two categories. First one is bradycardia. That is means bradycardia is slow heartbeat. Uh, Tachycardia is a fast heartbeat. Then next one is like irregular heartbeat. This is known as Fletcher. Early heartbeat, we are calling it as premature concentration. These are all the basic type of arrhythmias. Uh, so, so the arrhythmia may cause of some noticeable symptoms. Okay. However, the doctor may be detecting these arrhythmias. They are always asking you to go for electrocardiogram. For example, if you enter the hospital, you say you have some serious issue with your left hand pain, then headache, left side pain, something, automatically doctor will suggest you please go and do electrocardiogram. So that is what they are recommending. Okay. So these are all the basic symptoms. Why I am explaining all these symptoms is these symptoms are the like data for our algorithm. So the symptoms for tachycardia is bradycardia and tachycardia. The symptoms are first one is breathliness, dizziness, fainting, then fluttering in chest, chest pain, sudden weakness of body. Okay, so this is for the first case. The second one is like bradycardia have following symptoms: angina or chest pain, like trouble in concentrating, confusion, overtension, dizziness, tiredness. So these are all the basic parameters, symptoms just for second type of cardia. So the treatment for first type, the bradycardia, is like this doctor will need to treat the condition first. Then, if no serious problem, the doctor may advise for future safer. They may advise for you implanting pacemakers. You know, pacemaker is a small device which has been placed in your chest or abdomen to check the heart rhythms. Okay, so once the pacemaker has been fixed, then automatically the medical institution have automatically records your record. If you have any serious issue, it will alert automatically the institution. So he has so and so issue. So please give this medicine on this time. Okay, so that is what like we are monitoring the health of a human nowadays. So the next second type of treatment for tachycardia is like vagal maneuvers, medications like implantable cardioverter defibrillator. So these are all the second type of diseases. Okay, MACE procedure, then coronary bypass surgery. These are all the cases. So that's fine. So we have two categories of like arrhythmia now. Once the patient enter into the hospital, the doctor needs to diagnose whether the person is belonging to which category. Okay. So for that, like we need to do the following test. They will know about like medical history and family history and the person's lifestyle, what type of food he is using, is he physically walking or doing some work, something like that. So apart from that, then they used to check this test: blood or urine, electrocardiogram, then Holter monitor. It is a device. They will fix you in your hand. It's a wearable device. They will continuously monitor your health, your heartbeat. That is the one. Then echocardiogram, chest X-rays. These are all the following methods we are using to follow. So to predict this arrhythmia, we are proposing the extreme learning machine classifier, extreme learning machine algorithm. This supervised learning model, we can predefine the values. Okay, based on that value and the realistic circumstance symptoms. So the heartbeat has been classified, and based on this we are extracting the features. That's what like this algorithm is proposed. There were a lot of researchers in this area. So this is the structure of this extreme learning machine classifier. It have three layers. One is input node, another one is output node, followed by hidden nodes. Okay, so you can predefine all these predictions what we have seen in the previous case. So what are the two categories of arrhythmia? Then what are the symptoms for this arrhythmia? If for example blood or urine, if the person's blood level and urine level is so and so, it may be a possibility. Okay, so electrocardiogram output also, yes, we are giving as input. So which means like based on all these things, it will easily classify that the person have what type of arrhythmia. So it will reduces huge man hour for a doctor. The expert rate doctorates who is working in the cardiology department. They don't have time even attending the cases nowadays. So these sort of smart algorithms gives optimal results which may support the medical industry. So this has been implemented using MATLAB. Due to the time considerations, just I'm giving some references link here. So just there is a MATLAB code for the classification of extreme learning classifier for arrhythmia. Just you can apply this and you can check it. Thank you. Just I'm concluding my talk now. Machine learning and artificial intelligence are becoming the center of innovation for various production and automation industries, especially health sectors. So the machine learning can improve and helps the production life and maintenance to understand the process level of machine data as smoother and faster. Thank you. If you have any queries, please, I'm available. Hello.
So participant asked how to collect data set. Is there any
Hello.
website to collect the data set?
Yes, madam. For example, like there are based on their interest, there were a lot of data sets globally available. The data sets we are calling from. There are a lot of sets, a lot of data sets. We are calling it as ground truth data sets. Okay, these data sets are verified by various researchers. So these data sets are freely available. For example, I am doing cancer research. So there are some standard cancer data sets are there. Okay. So for example, I am doing some research based on like brain tumor. There are a lot of brain tumor research data sets are available. Okay. So if you are specifically looking for some data set, just I am putting my email ID there, then surely I will help you in this aspect.
Sir, also they asked about the website names for collecting data sets.
Sure, there is no unique website for collecting all data sets. For example, as I told you earlier, like for example, brain tumor have its own group of data sets. For example, somebody is doing machine learning algorithms for handwritten classification. There are a lot of data sets like UV database, then tobacco database. So you can try to grab these data sets from the specific websites. It is based on the person's research. Okay.
Sir, all their doubts related to the same one. Let me wind up, sir.
Okay. Sure, madam. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, sir. This platform was bloomed with knowledge and innovative ideas given by you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Last but not least, it's my duty and responsibility to invite Mrs. Steve Baby, Assistant Professor and today's event coordinator of our department to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. As all good things come to end in life, so is the webinar. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. On behalf of Department of Computer Applications, Nanda Arts and Science College, I thank this opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. I would like to thank to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on machine learning algorithms for healthcare organized by our department. At the outset, I thank our research person, Dr. Balamurugan Ishwaran. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Balamurugan Ishwaran for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank our principal for her enthusiastic support. This vote of thanks would be largely incomplete without expressing my gratitude for the head of the department and faculties of computer applications who have been working really hard and carrying out all the allotted duties very diligently. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. An important note to all the participants. The feedback link will be attached in the chat box of both Google Meet and YouTube, and you are requested to fill to get your e-certificate. The link will be available only for 15 minutes. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure being with you all today. Thank you for participating in today's webinar. We hope to see you again with a different forum with different content. You are good to go. Thank you all. In 15 minutes.